Hello again, me and Stokey with Mastermind Games, back with more Warmachine, and this time Archduke Alain Runewood, Lord of Fharin. Golden skin, 09092. Runewood is basically head of the Sword Knights, an ancient, one of the oldest martial orders in Cygnar, formed originally to fight the various monsters of their world, in other words, war beasts. But they added warjacks to their training regimen once those were invented to keep their order as relevant as possible. There wasn't a whole lot on Runewood until recently. Fharin is from what I can tell, part of the Thornwood of the northern end of Cygnar, bordering Cador, but Runewood, of course, now has become corrupted by the Infernals. Plate mail metal. Being corrupted the same way one would corrupt a paladin, using his loyalty to his king and country against him in a way. But it's pretty much a buffing character solo that can hit pretty hard. So let's see here. The bulk of the armor is going to be the steel, as well as his blade of his sword, obviously. And most sword knights have a plume coming out of their helmet. Runewood's got a mohawk. Got too much paint out of the bottle. Try not to waste it if I can't help it. Now, unlike the knights of medieval Europe who were in intense competition with each other, sword knights focus on group tactics. I can't remember what buff Runewood gives them, but he also has a weapon master, I believe, so that makes him a wrecking ball in his own right. He is a solo. Okay. Well, that's a pretty good start. I'm going to need to let that dry before moving on. Okay. Next, where would I put it? Shield Brown 09161. Get the grip on the brush I need. There we go. Switching brushes as needed. This is a finer, more of a detailed brush. So, Runewood's an older man, so I'm going to start with just a nice brown for his hair, and then add some salt and pepper in later. And he has a mustache. Of course, his collar is all that comes up to his neck. And then Antique Gold 09050. I'm going to take a little more of that silver from earlier, that plate mail metal. Do the back of the neck here real quick. I don't think I acknowledged it at the time, but that definitely needs to be in this color. Now Antique Gold. I'm going to use this twice. I'm going to pick some details out now and get some, or do I have to? I don't have to. We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. So I'll get the Cygnus on the back. Cygnus being a male swan and Cygnar's faction symbol. And let's see here, where's it start? Trim on the cloak. More signets and the medal on his chest. His secondary tear to his shoulders. Keeping the brush moist but not overly wet. I'm really trying to stay in focus, but it's difficult with my system not only fighting me, but having this the camera rig kind of behind me. Then other signals on the brow of the helm. I'm going to get the sort of armature that the plume, or in this case mohawk, plugs into. Another signals on his gauntlet. I'll tell you that plume was a pain to get on. There seems to be a nub. Let's see here. Okay. Get this sort of etching on his sword. And there's a scroll case or something here I'm going to take care of in the same color. And a little more on the cloak's insignia. And I think I'm going to let that dry before I move on. Oh, and I just dropped 670 frames in a few seconds. Oh, good grief. Alright. I redid this tube here in silver because after looking at the card I realized this is a gun. That's right, Runewood is packing heat. He actually has a hand cannon listed on his stat card. Shaking up some paint off camera for a brown. I've had some trouble with this on Captain Jake's in the last video, so see if it plays nice this time. Just going on the holster here. And this belt. Now, let me think of them. I think I'm at Color white 09062. Duke Runewood has a double cape here. Or Archduke, excuse me. So this inner one will be in white, and the outer will be in blue. Okay. Ultramarine blue. Oh, I just realized I'm not quite ready for that yet because I still have some cape to do. Got the interior and forgot to do the exterior. Oh boy. Alright. Easy enough to fix. Alright, there we are. Now ultramarine blue. He's got this ribbon coming off of his medallion, as well as a loincloth, which would just be purely decorative on this. And here's the part of the secondary cape. Pretty much battle honors all around. You wouldn't expect anything less of one of Cygnar's major heroes outside of their warcasters. Which indeed he is, or was before the Infernals got to him. Okay. I want to make sure I have all the blue on him directly. So that might be okay. A little more there. Looks like I'm good. Now to get that plume. I'll tell you, this piece was a pain to glue on. Runewood was pretty much a one-part model except for the plume of his helmet. It fits in exactly one way into the crook of his arm, but it was not easy to figure out, even looking online, how exactly to glue it on there. Okay. A little more. Well, first off, I need to clean my brush a little better. I'm going to touch white again. Just a little more in here to kind of get that more solid, less splotchy. more concerned about this kind of touch-up on the readily visible surfaces. Alright, that's base coats. You let that dry, and I can start shading. Okay, time to shade. Woodstain Brown 09160. Just a little bit. Thinning with 1 part water to 1 part paint. Get this over the mustache and the hair. Okay. Now, you can actually also take Ruddy Leather 09109, excuse me. Ruddy Leather. And get the belt and holster for his hand cannon. And Ancient Bronze 09049. I have to be very careful about this and make certain I don't miss anything. Work from the bottom up and start with the trim on the cloak. I'm going to try to do one detail at a time here. Just let it flow in all the crevices. Go ahead and get the insignia on the cape now. Get the embossing on the sword. I'm not sure if I'm using that word properly. Might be thinking of something different. What was the handle? Get that little gauntlet. Shoulder. Piece that holds the plume in. Helmet. Metal. Oh, he's got a Cygnar on his chest as well. It's just mostly obscured by the, here we go, that'll have to do, that'll be alright. It's just mostly obscured by the banner on his chest and the metal honors all around. Get just enough on the inside so it flows down into the in there and touch that up. Okay, well that's not too bad. That gets 3 layers of shading in one. So let that dry, and then I can do something. Do another one. All right, next Golden Shadow 09091. Brush goes flying. Going over the face here. Okay. And then Ultramarine Shadow 09187. this flow. Letting this flow around. Getting all the recesses there. Being careful around the insignia. I don't want to nick this. Okay. Wrap up with his plume. Alright, that's just going to leave the white and then the silver. And I can move on. Okay, great. Okay, next, linen white 09061. I'm trying to make certain I get the underside. Don't want to forget it. Just let it flow in and around the white here. Okay. Once that dries, I'll just leave the steel, but I think I can start on the eyes with matte white. So just little dots of that in his eyes. Okay. You know what? I'll do this jewel on his chest lighting effect, so we'll prep that one at it. Okay. Let that dry and come back. Okay. 09205, Blackened steel. Well, actually, before I get this, a little matte black to, yeah, that's how I have to do this. Dotting in the pupils. The barrel of the hand cannon. And before I do this, I can do the steel first. Yeah, steel first. Blackened steel 09205. Just had to think for a second. Again, 1 part water, 1 part paint to thin it. I'm careful on the chest there not to get the Cygnus. Get the belt buckle. Seems I accidentally got his right leg a bit with the white, but we're okay. Taking some care around the helmet. Alright, here we go, armor's shaded. Now a little bit of vampire red. And 2 to 3 parts water, 1 part paint for a lighting effect. It's just going to go right on this jewel here. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Once that completely dries, I can highlight, detail, and wrap up. Okay, time to highlight. Golden highlight 09093. And needing a ragged feathered brush. Something along the lines of this. No water, straight paint only. Rub it on the paper towel till it looks like there's next to nothing left. And then lightly dust the area to be affected. Just a little straight paint on the bridge of the nose to a little more paint on the bridge of the nose just to take care of that bit where the where the white got on there. It's like 3. It's really early in the morning. This is the first thing I'm doing. Okay. Driftwood brown 09162. Gonna go over there with this first and then put in a secondary highlight in a minute. True Silver 09207. Burnt Orange 09111. There we go. Okay. Ghost White 09063. It's a little bigger than that. This combination of leather white, linen white, ghost white is pretty subtle. Then Ultramarine Highlight 09189. Alright, I somehow dropped almost 300 frames while I was just getting that paint out. Oh boy. This particular brush might be just about shot. They're not going to last forever. Okay. And then New Gold 09051. Lightly dusting across the trim and everything else here. Okay. And now 09038 Rainy Gray. Just a bit of this in the hair. Just a little bit of this in the hair. Just want to add a bit of gray, not a whole lot. And that takes care of the highlights. Now Ultramarine blue again to start the arc on the base. On Jake's, I wound up, because I was so used to the lighter colors of Crick's that I did a while back, I prepped it in white first, but I don't actually need to do that because this blue is dark enough. So taking a flat head, I'm overextending deliberately at first, being real careful where his foot comes close to the base. And then once this dries, I will backfill. All right. Okay, let that dry completely, then I can touch up the arc. All right, time to touch up the arc, the front arc with a little matte black. For those of you unfamiliar, Warmachine relies on a distinct front and back arcs for every model. Front arcs, you make attacks through, obviously. Back arc, well, you get a bonus when attacking the back arc, and some models even get an additional damage dice. So this is a self-healing cutting mat with the 3 most common base sizings marked out. Just gonna, got them centered, I'm just gonna do the edges here. Okay, let's readjust my camera a bit because this didn't work out so good at the last video. Now I'm just gonna touch up that line. That's exactly why I keep the paper towel in one hand. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to switch back to a flat head. And very carefully backfill. Being super careful where the model comes close to the edge of the base. And since some of that ultramarine blue is still wet, just take some of that, just touch this up right here. Okay. Let that dry completely, then I can put some flock on there. Okay, time to get some flock on the base. Mix of white glue and water. Mix that all up. And then I just punched out my camera. Let's readjust that. Alright, just carefully paint the solution around the feet. Let this just flow all over. And the basic material. Mix a flock with a little bit of static grass in there. Give it a dip. Whoop, that went flying. Just tap off the excess. I'm going to use a spare brush that's dry and just push away from areas I don't want it. Now that's going to have to set for a while, 20 to 30 minutes at least. About 20 to 30 minutes, and then I can seal it in just about there. Okay, final step that I can do on camera. Take some Scenic Cement. This is a Woodland Scenics product, and it's a sprayer brush on adhesive. It's the bottom layer. Glass eyedropper, because this stuff will bond to plastic quickly, and plug a plastic eyedropper up in nothing flat. Just gonna drip it onto the flock, which has had all day to dry, so that'll seal it. And the only other thing left is to varnish him, but that'll give that flock a rock hard finish and keep it in and on the base. And that is it. Archduke Alain Runewood, Lord of Fharin. Alright, more Cygnar next. Until then, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.